For the World 11 now, we join it with the first ball, and your commentators are Ian Chappell and Bill Laurie.
And he beats him with a big swinger. Rickson doesn't move for it. Was that an edge? Buys. Beautiful outswinger.
Steve Rickson, I think, was heading down the leg side, and the ball swung quite late. Benny Dingo got a couple to swing. Barry Richards really searching for that one. As I say, Steve Rickson was heading down the leg side. I've just got Fanto to admit on air that you would have got 100 in the session there at Old Kingsmead if he hadn't undone the boots.
Geez, it's taken a long time, hasn't it?
It has taken a while, yeah.
Because I seem to have been facing this bloke for 25 years.
Is it getting any easier? That's what I want to know.
No, it's getting harder, mate. I think he's fitter than me.
It's none for four after one over. To open at the other end, Dennis Lilly's famous partner during the 70s, Jeffrey Robert Thompson. Quickest fast bowler I ever saw. Just a touch, I think, quicker than the man who's just walked into our commentary box, Michael Holding.
Beautiful action. Big scar well forward. Yes, the Lee Thompson onslaught in 1974-75 was sensational stuff. Average of 51 after 125 test matches. That's a magnificent record. 34 hundreds and 45 50s. Glorious drive. Beautifully played. No effort whatsoever. No wicket for 8. And went for it with some width there with the full face of the bat. Was always going to be 4.
That is Sonny's record against all countries. 10,122 runs, which has since been passed by Alan Border.
Oh dear, what a great shot. Just imagine Graham McKenzie back in Western Australia watching that shot. And 2 others I can recall as well. I just cannot afford to drop short of this great player.
Well, Dennis is always the type of bowler who's going to find out if there's any bounce in the pitch. He's never going to go home worried about the fact that he might have bowled on a pitch where there was some bounce and he didn't try and take advantage of it.
Oh, Richie almost took the blinder in the gully. Diving away, got his left hand to it. It's no wicket for 15.
Barry Richards had a life at the end of the last over, attempting to cut Dennis Lilly, and that one just bouncing out. Greg Ritchie making a dive. They'll have to put the heavy roller out in that area and flatten the turf out. Marvellous story when Tomo was playing for Queensland, first game of the season, and he never used to practice, Jeffrey, so the first game of the season was always a bit of a trial, and he was whizzing the ball all over the place. Greg was his captain, went down to abuse him, and as Greg was leaving, Jeffrey said to him, "Hey mate, can you remember how many paces I take in my run up? Is it 14 or is it 16?
Well bowled and well played. Glorious off drive. The ball going all the way. Richards just leaning into that off drive. Barry Richards with the full face of the bat always. He drives and in defence as well. Hitting the ball too hard, just controlled off drive. There he goes again, this time with Surrey Gus, cup of point. Good throw, she's a favourite. She batted very well, she's a good field and she'll bowl well too. She's probably a better bowler than batsman, she's quite sharp with the ball. She's loving this performance and it's an A-grade act. Oh, he's given him one. He's played it pretty well. He played it better than Steve Rickson took it. It was well played.
And most unusual from Tomo, it was right on line as well. That was never any guarantee with Jeffrey, but it was a good and quick. And as you say, Bill, Sonny played it beautifully, got under it quite nicely. I think Steve Rixon's just having a bit of a problem picking up the red and yellow ball.
Average of 51. Red lines of the hundreds, 34 of them.
Yes, he got 774 in his first series against the West Indies. That's a magnificent start to a career.
World 11 no wicket for 24. Dennis Lilly to continue with 2 slips and a gully in. Oh, what a great shot. It's worth coming just to see that shot. Barry Richards just waited for the ball, hit it beautifully off the back foot. Simon O'Donnell, the fieldsman.
It looks like Simon's falling apart. We might find him a little difficult to contact.
Oh, what a shot. Foolish delivery, hitting it square once again for 4.
Tell me, Barry, what are you expecting?
Sorry?
What are you expecting next delivery? You see, you haven't got the same hold over him. He's, he's not under you at Queensland like Tomo.
Well, Tomo isn't anymore. I was a bit worried about him. This could be it. Just watching.
He must be getting old, mate, I think.
I think he's getting smarter.
World 11 no wicket for 32. Greg Chappell makes a change. It's going to be Michael Whitney, left arm medium pace from the members' end, relieving Jeff Thompson. Thompson 3 overs, no wicket for 14. Michael Whitney will swing the ball a little bit into the right-handers from off to leg. Very popular man here in Sydney. Got him? Yes. Dropped it. Oh, beautiful delivery. And that's David Hooks. Greg Chappell had been able to swallow that. David Hooks seemed to snatch at it at the end. Good delivery.
Just using the angle, the left-hander's angle, and it went straight into the mitts. Straight out again. David Hooks not quite balanced when he attempted to take that catch, falling to ground. He's on a roll now, Hooksy.
Yes, it follows you around, doesn't it? There was the edge, straight in and out. Caught that 9 times out of 10. He's a reasonable slipper, David Hooks, lived in that position when captain of South Australia, first slip. Nicely played.
Actually, you'd remember the innings, Bill. Adelaide Oval. I think it may well have been Merv Hughes' first test. If it wasn't, it was certainly one of his very early ones. And Sonny got 160 odd, and they kept bowling on his pads at the Adelaide Oval. And that eastern gate over there, he just knocked pickets out of that fence.
Being on target, and that one's straight to Thompson. So Michael Whitney, the proud father of triplets, he is very proud too. Madeline, Fergus and Juliet. And I think I'm right in saying that Madeline's second name is Lara, because the triplets were born on the same day that Brian Lara made his 500. That's a lovely shot there. Zoe Goss after it. She's going to go for it. She's going to pick it up. Yes, she is. Whoop, almost a collision down there. And Lily coming around from third man.
I think Dennis enjoyed that collision. I think I might have enjoyed it myself.
So that's the comparison after 10 overs. They need to score 270 runs at 5.4 runs an over. Lily continuing now. That's nicely played. He's got that one through the onside field, and it's Zoe Goss once again chasing the ball down to deep mid-wicket. Let's have a look at her arm. I'll tell you what, not bad. Over the top.
This field isn't big enough for Zoe Goss. Right over the head of Steve Rickson. That's a good throw, a long throw at any rate.
And there's the bouncer. Lily beginning to look pretty deadly serious, and no ball called. Well, Simon O'Donnell's in there at mid-off. These two looking pretty good, Simon.
I'll tell you what, don't put any kindling on the fire out here at the moment, Tony. It is a touch hot. I think Dennis is trying pretty hard, to be honest.
No doubt about that.
Sensational.
And Lily standing in the middle of the pitch with his thinking cap on. That is the end of the over. No wicket for 46. Michael Whitney continuing, and Zoe Goss into the action again, fielding at covers. Well, Michael flew out all the way from Jamaica. How long does that take these days?
It took me about 35 hours, Tony. I went to Miami and then got to Los Angeles through Denver, and then from LA down to Sydney. Total traveling time 35 hours.
Was bowled in. That's bang on. He tried to pull that one. It didn't bounce very much. Barry Richards trying to get that one away to mid-wicket, and back went his stumps. Well, he's played absolutely superbly. Perhaps just picked the wrong one there, or did it keep a little bit low, Michael Holding?
Yes, it didn't really bounce up very high for Barry there. It was reasonably short, and Barry was trying to pull that through the mid-wicket. As you see there, very short, inside edge onto the off stump. Whitney strikes.
So Barry Richards 24, and the world side 1 for 46. Those are his one-day international figures. Some experience there, Michael.
Yes, David Gower, an excellent player. 2 years now retired, but still batting very well.
Well, good evening, David.
Good evening, Tony.
Well, this is one of the great joys of life, wandering out into the Sydney Cricket Ground in the evening to face the likes of Thompson, Lilly, Whitney and co, surely.
Yeah, and wondering what's going to happen next, too. Which is, hang on, I can't even get the guards right. Hold it. That's 2. Yes, it's, I hope there's a sort of memory cell still vaguely alive somewhere that reminds me what to do next.
There are 4 to go, mate, in the over.
Thank you.
Yes, I don't think you middled that one, did you?
Just a little bit late, what?
It's just, I can tell you he's angling it in. He's not going to get anything to go towards slip.
I'm not sure whether I saw the yellow bit of the ball or the red bit. I went for something in between.
He's got that one away. So he's been trying to play that cover drive. Managed to get that one away on the offside. Lovely timing from David Gower. That was absolutely effortlessly played. And it's gone for 4. 1 for 57. But we're going to have a change in the attack now. It looks as if Simon O'Donnell is going to be brought on to bowl.
Waiting. No.
Righto, Simon. What's the plan?
Good question, Tony.
Say again?
I think I'd better go with the old saying in cricket, if they miss, I hit. That's how I can get anywhere near the 3 uprights.
So it's going to be spot on, dead straight.
I'll tell you, I hope so. I'm a bit nervous, to be brutally honest. It's been a while since I've done this. Here goes nothing. Still plays all right, this Gower fella. Oh, smack that.
Oh, full-length dive by Zoe Goss. She's down, but the ball's got through. That's David Gower's second boundary. Nice timing.
Yes, as David said, the longer he stays at the crease, the easier it gets. Very good shot.
There have been some pretty good performances so far in this match. 15 overs have been bowled, and there it is. The World 11 1 for 62 by comparison with the Bradman 11s 1 for 74. In the commentary box at the moment, it's Richie Benno, and with him is Ernie Dingo.
David Gower is the man taking strike at the moment. Michael Whitney is the bowler, one of Sydney's favourite sons. Hello, David. It's Richie Benno.
Richie, good evening. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you, David?
I'm enjoying it so far.
It's just a polite inquiry, just to know how your muscles are standing up out there.
Yeah, so far so good. I don't use many normally.
They tell me there's an MCC committee being formed to get you back into Test cricket.
Yeah, I think they ought to have a meeting every year. It gives them something to do in the winters.
And it's good night, everyone. Hold that MCC committee. And David Gower, after some delightful stroke play there, has been bowled by Michael Whitney.
It's so much fun watching this game here. Whitney, I think, he's trying to get back in the Test side the way he's playing. Somebody should tell him this is a social match or something. I think he's trying to get away from the fact that his wife home with 3 kids.
David Gower out for 11. It's 2 for 63. One of the great players on the world cricket scene walking onto the SCG now. Last time he played here in a Test match, he made 277 against Australia. It's Brian Lara, and since then he's made 375 against England to become the highest scorer ever in a Test match, and 501 in the county game to go past the records of Sir Donald Bradman and Hanif Mohammed. Brian Lara, one of the greats of the modern day game. Now then, Whitney, and he's to bowl to Brian Lara. That's the one to get off the mark. There's Michael Whitney to Sunil Gavaskar. There'll be a single there. Simon O'Donnell was the man who should have been coming across to pick it up, but in fact he appears to be otherwise engaged at the moment.
Well, yeah, I am very brutally honest. I haven't done this for a while. I've had it. So I've got my little mate over here. What's your name, chap? Jason. He's doing the fielding for me while I rest. I don't know if I can get out of this maze of books here at the moment, to be brutally honest, to really worry about it.
It'll be one of those things with one bound, Jack was free.
Jason! Get after the ball, son! Get after it, son!
A nice arm on him there.
And it's 2 for 80. Simon O'Donnell is the bowler. He has made his way back. And Zoe Goss was saying it's exciting out there. If you haven't been out under the lights, Ernie, but it will be when you get there, I can tell you.
Oh, that's a good one, Simon. I think he's let that one bounce all the way through.
And I'd say that wasn't directed at Lara, but at Steve Rickson, who'd come up over the stumps. And a mark of disrespect to stand up over the stumps to a pace bowler. There's a chase for Zoe Goss, but she's not going to be able to get that. Simon O'Donnell is the bowler. Brian Lara taking strike. Ernie Dingo's in the commentary box with me and is just going back to the dressing room to get ready for the onslaught with Lillian Thompson. Good luck, Ernie.
I think I'd rather face young Zoe and hope to beat her out of the ballpark just to have one for the feminists.
It's 2 for 88 here at the SCG.
And Michael Whitney will be complaining. There goes another catch. And once again, the lucky batsman is the skipper of the World 11. Sunil Gavaskar. It was David Hooks the first time, Bob Simpson this time.
I tell you, it's infuriating, isn't it, as a fielding captain, when you try and find a slip fieldsman you can rely on.
After 23 overs, World 11 2 for 95. Sonny, you and Brian just having a chat there.
Yep.
Who's the taller of the two?
Oh, he is. By half an inch.
By much?
By half an inch.
Half an inch?
Yeah, it doesn't make much of a difference, actually. I don't have to look up at him.
Bit different from speaking to Joel.
Oh, yes, of course. But then Joel always gives me a lot of respect. He bends down, you know.
Dougie Walters is on. Denisili chasing this one. Zoe Goss has got smart. She's stopped chasing so that she doesn't get anywhere near Denisili.
Dennis will catch up somewhere, won't he?
World record holder, a left-handed batsman at the moment, David.
Not a bad player either.
Tomo, and he's got it. That's all the practice he had in the World Masters. Played a bit of baseball during the World Masters at centre field, Tomo. It's done him the world of good. So Douglas has just slightly missed out on his bloody beauty, 1 for none, but it's about 1 for how many, Max? 1 for 4.
Well, just held it back a bit, didn't he? And poor old Sonny there lost a bit of strength, I think, the extra layer of clothing.
It's well caught by Jeffrey Robert Thompson, and the World 11 now 3 for 99. The second best batsman that I ever saw play, Graham Pollock from South Africa, is the number 5 for the World 11. A magnificent player, and also, David, a left-hander.
It's rather encouraging, isn't it? To see all these guys that could play once, still can play now.
2 Western Australians together. Zoe, what advice did Dennis have for you?
Just bowl like I did in the nets. Here goes.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Brian, you wouldn't want to get out to a woman, would you?
No, I'm not going to get up.
That's a nice little touch there from Brian Lara. In fact, it's flicked the pad. No, it hasn't even flicked the pad, it's buys. Doug Walters, he's got his usual breakthrough. Got the wicket of the World 11 skipper. That's a good save by Zoe Goss. Got the knee down behind it.
Still one of the highest career averages you will ever see, that one of Graham Pollock's. Sadly curtailed, as with so many of his colleagues.
Once again, that big heavy bat, it just falls on the ball and away it goes. He was about, he used to use about a 210, 211, sometimes up as high as 212. I'm talking pounds and ounces. Now, his bat, 60.97. Fantastic batting average in 23 tests. It's beautifully played. Just let the ball drift onto the bat. It's the last ball of the over. He'll be looking for 3. That's a variation on the 1 off the last ball. It's 3 for 119.
Still a bit of chasing to be done here by the World 11. 22 overs left.
That's beautifully played.
Yes, Actually, that is, in fact, the way to look at it, because so often when batsmen, well fielded, Simo. What an example to set. So often when batsmen get into trouble, they start looking at so many complicated little theories about their hands and their feet and heads and the balance, the whole lot. They actually forget that the one thing they haven't done recently is watch the ball all the way. And you can often, if you look at it properly, or you look at the problem properly, you realise that you're only watching the ball, say, 2/3 of the way instead of all the way.
Oh, and there's a big appeal there, so I think she's got him. Zoe's got him. Zoe Goss has got Brian Lara, and boy, that's brought a smile to her face.
Well, you have to feel a bit sorry for Brian Lara.
Well, Brian, you've made someone's day, I know that much.
That's how it goes sometimes. I think I was a bit over careful.
Just overly cautious, eh?
Yeah.
Well played, and thanks on behalf of everyone that's watching here for coming down for this match.
Thanks for that, it's an honour.
So that's the end of Brian Lara, and it's 4 for 130. Jeff Dujon is the new batsman. Magnificent wicketkeeper batsman. Very elegant at both. Oh, and just over the top. Now, with a bit of luck, we'll be able to speak to Tony Crafter. Tony, can you hear us?
Yes, Tony.
Wonder if you could clarify for us, was Brian Lara out stumped, or was he out caught behind?
He was out both ways, actually, but seeing that the caught happened first, that's the way that it goes down in the scorebook.
That one played into mid-wicket, running his way down to the boundary again. Good timing by Graham Pollock.
It's Graham Pollock just starting to find the gaps here as well. First of all, he went over the top. This is a dismissal here. Watch the ball. Does it get an edge? Yes, there's an edge there. Big nick. They're appealing for the catch, and that's fair enough. It's the end of Brian Lara, caught behind by Steve Rickson. Bowled Zoe Goss.
Well, that's the shot he loves playing as well. He's heaved that one over mid-wicket down to the fence before. He's starting to look dangerous now.
This is like another nightmare for us. This is the way he played in 1967 and 1970 in South Africa, Graham Pollock. Anything that was just a fraction off line, hits it for 4. That did stay down a bit. He just waited for it, whipped it over square leg. A magnificent batsman.
Look at that stance of his two, very wide. And that is the end of the over. 10 from it, 4 for 140. Well, 32 overs have been bowled in this 50-over match, and that is the situation. Absolutely neck and neck. Oh, that's nice timing as well. It's got through him. That's Lilly there going over the top of that one, and it's running way down towards the boundary. Nice timing again from Jeff Dujon. He's a very elegant batsman. He's not going to get to the boundary. They'll settle for 3. Well, Jeff, that's a good way to start.
Yeah, quite happy with that.
So you reckon you got it totally under control? 127 runs to get it, about 7 runs and over?
Well, it's worth a try. Graham seems to be doing okay.
Zoe Goss to Graham Pollock. Oh, there's that drive again through the gap, and he's not running. It's the ball's absolutely skating down towards the fence, and Graham Pollock doesn't even walk 3 yards.
There's 4 men inside the circle on the offside, and this is exactly what he did back in 1970, which is 20 odd years ago. I don't know how many fieldsmen he got there. He'll find a gap if you bowl a half volley. He doesn't hit it too hard. He waits till the last minute. Superb placement. Beautiful timing.
So that's 5 boundaries to Graham Pollock. Oh, there we go again. Oh, it's gone straight through. He's hit that one very hard. It might have been a little bit of a bad bounce for Greg Chappell. We don't often see him fumble, but that one I think must have hit something and gone a little bit left as it hit the ground.
Even allowing for the bounce, how quickly did it go to the fence? There's that big back lift, and this time he does get a bad bounce. It races away for another boundary. He'll just murder any attack, Graham Pollock, once he's set.
Oh, he's timed that one well, Dujon has. He's blasted that through the offside, and that's running down to the boundary for 4 as well. So I think if they carry on like this, they'll get it back to run a ball. .16 off that over. Good one for the world team. 4 for 156. And that's the comparison after 33 overs. And Greg Chappell, who's captaining this Bradman 11, has decided that he's going to have a go now. Here we go. He's hit 3 magnificent boundaries through extra cover. 1 straight down the ground, 2 through mid-wicket. Played a little glance on the offside, a little glide on the leg side. And then there are a few 1s and 2s. And that's that pull shot again. You see, that is absolute effortless stuff. Unbelievable.
Yes, he's 50 years of age. It wasn't all that short. He hit exactly where he wanted to. It was almost just wide of mid-on. You just rock back, and there it goes. Plenty of bottom hand in that one. Superb stroke. 7 boundaries. That's 14 scoring shots. 7 of them have been boundaries.
Oh, he's got that one square. And that one won't quite reach the fence. Well, Graham, you're still plugged in?
Yeah.
Starting to see them now.
Yeah, a little better.
Always a lovely shot. Just to remind everyone at home, this is a day-night match. You're sitting in your living room looking at the screen. The lights are so good here and on the other grounds that it looks like daytime. Same applies if you're watching highlights after the game. Zoe Goss is the fielder. She's thrown very well out there each time the ball's gone near and she's picked it up, but I reckon the size of the ground will pose her some problems. They'll already be doing so, but she's done well batting, bowling and fielding. Michael Whitney, the fielder. And a half century to Graham Pollock. After some moments of indecision in his first 10 runs, he suddenly started to strike the ball quite beautifully.
4 for 173, the world 11, with 14 overs left.
And now she's bowled. She is bowling at the moment against 2 of the best players we've seen on the world stage in other years. Got it. 2 wickets for Zoe Goss. Jeffrey Dujon is the man to go now. That was a good catch. It was going very, very fiercely towards the fielder at cover.
Well, another strike for Zoe Goss, and Jeff Dujon never one to hold back. This real wristy flick. Full follow through, just sliced underneath it. And the 2 West Australians, Goss and Lilly, partnering yet another wicket. 5 for 174.
New batsman coming out of the pavilion now. Abdul Qadir. It's very enjoyable watching him bowl. He's still playing quite a bit of first-class cricket, but not for Pakistan. Oh, that short arm jab again.
Plenty of open space at deep square leg. And if the world 11 are going to win this, then Graham Pollock could be the man to do it. He really dominated the previous stand with Jeff Dujon. Duj got 8 off 6 balls. The stand itself was worth 44.
Well, Graham Pollock's moving along very, very smoothly now. 5 for 185, the world 11. So he goes just straight down the leg side. She's bowled a good tight line and length much of the time. Straight over the top of mid-off. He's played some wonderful strokes. There'll be a lot of people sitting back in their living rooms watching Knight who saw him play out here so many years ago. And that's a real flashback to what he did on that tour.
All right, 4 will do. We're not going to complain. 5 for 196. Now, Greg Ritchie, are you out there?
Yeah,
Fat Cat, how's it going there in the gully? You've been playing a key role in the proceedings the last 20 overs there.
Thank you very much. I was keeping an eye on things.
You're not worried about the way this game's going at the moment, are you?
There's a bloke called Pollock worrying me a little bit for the fact he might hit one in my direction at force 10.
Just a quick question, Fat Cat. You're not going to lose this one, are you?
Oi,
That'll be 4 from the last ball of the 9th over. Abdulkader smashing it straight down the ground, and it's 5 for 200.
Well, Greg Chappell has pushed his man back at long off now as a gesture towards the stroke making of Graham Pollock.
Could be out just over the top of Jeff Thompson at mid-on. Pollock will get 2 for it.
Well, I mean, long off was back, so Graham Pollock trying to take advantage of the space just over Jeff Thompson's hand there. Got away with it.
Well, not far off, but it's 4 runs. Simon O'Donnell was the man charging in there and diving for the catch.
Very awkward indeed, just bouncing in front.
.79 to Graham Pollock. Abdulkader has made 7. Zoe Goss is just starting her last and 10th over. Fielder, but over his head and just short of the boundary. Needs to be a surge from Graham Pollock now.
Well, Mike Whitney was 75 yards away from the bat, a deep square leg. The trouble was he needed to be around about 85-90.
Asking rate's 7.56. Haven't been able to get that down. It just needs a couple of very sharp overs for the world side now. We're into the 43rd over. Abdulkader has carried Zoe Goss straight down the ground, short of the boundary. He can play, Abdulkader, not just a bowler, but a good batsman as well.
He's dragged that from wide, and it's almost reached. Almost on the half volley into the fence. Well, that's the quickest Graham Pollock's had to run tonight. I must sense that victory is getting closer, and the graphs merging as we get into the middle of this last 10 overs.
Beautiful stroke. Lovely square drive. Very good touch. It's a great thing for the spectators here at the ground and watching on television just to have a glimpse of this fellow and the great players the world has seen. For 222. 43 overs gone, 5 for 222, so there's not much in it between these teams. Zoe Goss has just finished her full allowable stint of 10 overs, and she got a great ovation from the crowd here, as she did when she went off from batting. And Greg Chappell has knocked over Graham Pollock. Very, very good swinging delivery. And a lovely hand from Graham Pollock. Nice innings, Graham. Congratulations and a delightful ovation. Nice to be back on the ground.
Ernie Dingo comes out. 3 wickets and a catch in the field for Ernie Dingo, but the pressure's really on the World 11 now. Vital wicket by Greg Chappell here. He's keeping the ball well up. Yorker, maybe just a bit of bin swing. Pollock not using the feet as the off stump pushback. What a magnificent knock. He smashed the bowls to all parts of the ground this evening. 14 fours off just 71 balls faced.
Yes, he's a magnificent player. 14 boundaries is quite remarkable. Ernie, just before you continue with this innings, can you explain those pads to us?
Can I? What about them?
Can you explain them to us?
I think they're Belleringi designs, mate. I'm going to have a go at Chappell here. Ready?
Oh! He's got it away too. Got the charge, a little edge down towards the boundary through slip. They're happy with 2. Greg Chappell calls on his #1 striker, Dennis Lilly, for final overs this match.
Ernie, how are you feeling at the moment facing Dennis?
Dennis should gas it off the short run. I don't mind him coming off the short run. Oh, come on, Dennis. Mongrel came off the short run and did a slow one at me.
What, do you want something a bit quicker? Because we can soon tell him to bowl a bit quicker.
No, just tell him to get and let me hit him caught and bowl. Tell him.
Safe. Oh dear.
How come you said safe as soon as it went up in the air near Greg Ritchie?
That was an even bet, wasn't it?
Zoe Goss has had a lot of work to do in the field. She's done it extremely well. Also displayed a strong arm. Greg Ritchie, you there?
Yeah, here I am.
Mate, you should hear what Bill Laurie just said. As soon as that ball went up in the air, before it had gone anywhere near you, he yelled out safe.
Oh dear, is that right? Bill could have always tried to catch it, you know where. Yeah, I tell you, it's funny.
Back up, mate, quick.
Sorry. It's, you know, you see some guys do some funny things in the dressing room. You know, some of them smoke, play cards, or watch this. Ernie Dingo paints his pads. Unbelievable, isn't it?
Inside edge is going all the way. Whitney's coming around quickly and he'll cut it off. Ernie Dingo getting the inside edge down to fine leg.
Ernie, was that the Aboriginal cut you just played then?
Mate, straight through the legs. Straight through the legs. If anyone can do it, I can do it. Okay, Lily, this one's for me, Mum.
5 runs off the over, 6 for 243. 3 overs to be bowled as Jeff Thompson comes back into the attack at the members' end. 27 runs required, so they need a boundary here, the World 11. And he didn't go on strike, and he does well. Chips it into the cover position, so he offers to fielding, a single. In fact, it's 5. It's the first mistake she's made. She's shy at the stumps. It may not go all the way. In fact, it won't. So 2 bonus runs there for the World 11.
Mate, overthrows there. How did the captain handle the overthrows? Were you within earshot?
No, but I could give you a fair indication of what was said.
Okay, keep it clean.
For goodness sake, gentlemen, come on, let's think about it. Or words to that effect.
So delivery, and he plays it well. Doug Walters shies and misses. They pick up the overthrow. It's good running.
You mean you heard that a few times at Queensland, did you, Greg?
I used to hear things like, look, it'd be reasonably clever to start thinking about the game, fellows, for goodness sake. Yes, I heard that a few times.
I'm not asking.
I'm not asking, I'm just suggesting that we could pick it up a little bit. That's right. Oh, he's a good-hearted bloke.
Seven runs off the over, 6 for 250.
20 runs now required off 10 balls. And I can tell you, he won't get any easy ones from Dennis Lilly.
Struck that beautifully down the ground. It's going all the way for 4. That's a nice hit. Straight, full face of the bat.
Yes, that's a lovely bat. He's really clouded that one. Change of pace from Dennis. He won't do that again. The only way he's likely to change pace now is up.
Struck that nicely bit off. Well fielded. It's Greg Chapo out there. Ernie Dingo's on strike. Vital balls now for the World 11. 8 remaining, 15 runs required. Plenty of wickets in hand, but really Abdul Carter is the man, I guess. He's on 31. That's a good ball, a dot ball.
So what's the plan of attack here, Ernie? 15 needed, 7 balls to go.
A couple of 4s, I reckon, mate. About as all I can see. I'm going to do a Kimberley Hughes to him.
Five off the over, 6 for 255. 1 over remaining, 15 runs required. Thompson to bowl from the members' end. That's a good hit. Chappell's getting back. He's a fine fieldsman. He'll catch this. He doesn't. He puts it down. Yeah, but London to Bricky would have caught that, Greg Chappell. He's a magnificent fieldsman. Probably didn't pick it up.
Yes, he was one of the best outfielders in his time. He got in a bit of a tangle there, and the ball just curved away on him at the last minute. It was the original move heading back that got him into trouble. Wasn't hit quite as well as he expected.
Well, that's valuable runs. It'll go. No, it won't. There's a man hiding down there. Fine leg. He's going to come back to the second. He'll have to scamper through.
I think where Greg got into trouble here, he started to go back the wrong way, and he got caught as the ball just curved away from him. It wasn't quite hit off the middle, and that's what caused it to curve away.
It's well played. 6 for 260. 10 off 3 balls required.
What about pointing the bone at him, Ernie?
He don't like my pad so far. Stuffing him right up. I just go up there and show him the pad, I think. I'm glad he's put on a few years, I tell you.
It's got it somewhere, could be out. 12's coming against Michael Whitney, takes the catch. That's the end for Ernie Dingo, out for 11. It's 7 for 260.
As Ernie Dingo, I think he was quite delighted to be dismissed by Jeffrey Thompson. He's really had a terrific game, Ernie Dingo, and when you think that he's only just flown back from the United States, pretty good effort. He bowled his 10 overs, took 3 wickets, took a very good catch, and finally out to Jeff Thompson, trying to whistle one away over mid-wicket. Finishes up in Mike Whitney's hands at mid-off. But terrific game for Ernie Dingo. Ernie, well done. You must have enjoyed that.
Well, I got legs 11, mate. My legs are like that. I thought I'd had to go. Double figures. Thanks, mate.
Well done.
7 for 260. As Joel Garner comes out, a magnificent ovation. A big assignment here. He's a big hitter of the ball when he gets hold of it. Great personality. The mind goes back to Waverley Park in Melbourne when Wayne Daniel hit the last ball for 6 off Mick Malone. 2 balls remaining, 10 runs required.
Jeff Thompson, the successful bowler, and Mike Whitney, the catcher, at mid-off. The important thing for the World 11 was that they crossed, so that puts Abdul Qadir on strike.
Just couldn't get the full swing of the bat in there. He got caught halfway, and Michael Whitney took the straightforward catch. Thompson, he's hit that well down the ground. That's going to go for 4-1-2 bounces. So 6 off the last delivery. It's not a Waverley all over again. I don't think you can hit Jeff Thompson for 6 off the final ball. Bob Simpson, the first set, gives a little nod because he's not bowling. Well hit.
Yes, he hits very well straight, Abdul Qadir. He's hit 2 or 3 boundaries now, virtually straight down the ground. And it's a big ask here. 6 off the final ball.
Greg Chappell dropping down at long off. There's a long on. That's Michael Whitney. Jeff Thompson. He's hit it. It's going to go for 4. Someone I don't know might get it. It goes for 4. So that's the end of a great match. Great try by the World 11. 7 for 268 after 50 overs. They failed by 2 runs.
Yes, he did a terrific job in the end, Abdul Qadir. And falling just 1 run short of a tie. So it's been a terrific success. Almost 18,000 people here at the Sydney Cricket Ground. And some very famous names performing, perhaps not quite as they used to, but enough to thrill the crowd.
Close, but not close enough. Just 1 run in it there at the end. And this is a look at the World 11 scorecard. Barry Richards 24, Sunil Gavaskar 34, David Gower 11. That was in the middle of a very good spell for Michael Whitney. We'll have a look at his figures in a moment. Brian Lara 23 before. He was caught behind off Zoe Goss. And Graham Pollock, brilliant, for 88 in 71 balls faced. Jeffrey Dujon 8. Abdul Qadir almost got them there with 44 not out. Ernie Dingo 11 and Joel Garner came in and didn't face a ball. Now the bowling figures. Dennis Lilly none for 41. Very competitive still. So too Jeff Thompson, who only bowled 5 overs, 1 for 34. Mike Whitney 2 for 26, and he's not been out of the game all that long, and you could see it from his bowling. Simon O'Donnell none for 20. Doug Walters 1 for 29. Zoe Goss 10 overs, 1 maiden, 2 for 60. She's had a big day, and not only did she bat quite well and bowl splendidly, but she's got a good throwing arm and fielded well also. Greg Chappell 1 for